Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. This is the Academy Urban Sports Perspectives. This is I guess your host for now, right now, at least. This is Grapefruit. We're with D Money and the Ultimate Male.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing, fellas?
Pretty good, my friend. How about you?
Um, Stunned, just absolutely stunned.
But see, and I don't know why, because I've been trying to give y'all a hint.
Oh,
I've
here
been
we
giving
go.
y'all hints
Here
that
we
this was
go.
a
Here we go.
possibility for weeks.
Here we go. Here we
So
go. All
I'm
right,
gonna get it,
I'll give you some applause for that.
but I'm gonna get into it at the moment. But we'll get into detail. But it was been hints and
Yeah.
foreshadowing that this was a
Oh,
possibility.
okay. All right. Okay. All right. You know
But
what? That's fair. That yeah, actually your last statement, that's fair that this was a possibility. You didn't say it was exactly going to happen, but you did state that this is possible and that this is what you were looking for.
100%, 100%.
All right, I give you that. I give you that. So where do we begin? Um, so we had the game against Pittsburgh. They won that again, scored 31 points in that game. Um, Couple of mistakes by Caleb, especially the fumble in the end zone, but won that game. And then hey, they've beaten two winning teams in consecutive weeks. Because let's let's keep it a buck here. I did not think that that was going to happen, and it's not that they just won it; it's the way they won it.
Yeah, I mean, beating the Eagles really pretty handily. I mean, they were in control of the game from start to finish. I think most of us said that they would probably lose that game.
Yeah.
Just going with the odds, even Vegas felt the same way, right?
Mhm.
So for them to go into a hostile environment and to play the Super Bowl champs and to beat them pretty handily, I mean, the score to me doesn't reflect how the game looked. I mean, there was really, I didn't think a moment where I felt like the Eagles were even in the game. They didn't even seem like they just felt like they were going through the motions to me. I just didn't feel any competitiveness from that team at all, to be honest with you. But I did not see that coming. I'm pretty sure, even though Ultimate says this was a possibility, even you would have to admit that win against the Eagles, you probably did not see coming.
You know what? I would have to admit that the way it played out, probably not. But as I make my sports betting predictions kind of once a week, and I did put money on the Bears and win that game, money line. So I did put
Smart
some
man.
hardcore cash. I really believed it at the
Wow.
time that that was a possibility. And the second thing is, I think we're already doing this, is definitely time to change the narrative and to change the conversation. The conversation is no longer, oh, are the Bears going to win 6 games? Is it going to be a successful season? Are we going to see some progression? The conversation is now is how deep can they go in the playoffs? Because no team, if Fruit, you're going to attest to this, no team is standing out saying, I'm going to win a Super Bowl this year.
Correct.
It's wide open. Everybody has their ups and downs. There's a week to week thing. Sometimes people are great, sometimes they're not. So why not the Bears? I'm not necessarily saying a Super Bowl win, but I'm saying a good, strong run in the playoffs because nobody wants it. And the second thing is the good thing is that the Bears, I mean, Caleb Williams is just playing okay. He's not playing great. I think you both will agree with that. I
Hmm.
mean, he has the lowest, what is it, Fruit, completion
Completions.
percentage
Yeah.
in the league. I mean, he does some other things well, but there's definitely some things he can improve on. So I guess my point is, if he just improves just a little bit more, and the defense still has a bunch of injuries, they just get a little more healthy. Why can't they be a threat in the NFC? And I mean, they already are. They're the number one seed. So, but to take them seriously, if Caleb just gets a little bit better, limits some of the gets a little better on his completion rate, makes some better decisions here or there, a little quicker. Defense gets even healthier and even better. I don't see why not.
D Money.
I think we have to agree with that. I mean, I would say before this last weekend, my money was still on the Rams because they just looked really dominant. They didn't have a lot of flaws, and they were beating teams, and most of the games they were pretty much handily beating teams, especially when they played the Seahawks. They those were kind of the top teams in the NFC to me, and they played each other and they dominated them. But then they go out and lose to the Panthers. I mean, which is, I mean, they're kind of a middle of the road team this year. I mean, they're not as bad as they were, but you expect the Rams to handle a team like that. Was that in LA or was that in, okay. So it
That
was
was in Charlotte.
okay, it was in Charlotte, but still, you expect like Ultimate said, a team that says we are the team to beat is going to dominate a team like that, and they did not, and they lost. So it is wide open. I mean, the Bears have just a good a chance to go to the Super Bowl as any other team in the NFC because nobody is saying we are the ones to beat. We are dominant. You are not going to beat us. Nobody is standing out. As a matter of fact, I would say all of the teams that we thought would be the favorites, they look terrible this year. You look at a Kansas City, you look at a Baltimore. I mean, Buffalo's looking decent, but they're not looking dominant. There is nobody that is standing out. So this thing's wide open. Not again, not to say that they will win it. They're probably going to make the playoffs. But they're actually shooting for a first round bye at this point. So it's really, they're in control of the rest of their season. They don't need anybody's help. They just need to handle their business. And if for some reason, like Ultimate says, you get your quarterback playing at a little bit more consistent level, it's going to be hard to beat this team, especially if they keep running the ball the way they're doing. They're going to be a very difficult team to stop. And that defense is just finding a way. I don't care what happens. They just find a way to win, and they're very aggressive about taking away the ball and getting these turnovers. So honestly, what team can you say has a better chance than they do?
I honestly, you know what? Okay, all right. It's lots of she shells and balloons and all this other stuff. I still think the Rams are still the team to beat in the NFC. But and watching that Rams game, you know, if it wasn't for their quarterback basically giving them all the turnovers, they would have won that game fairly easily. But also, but let's don't necessarily sleep on Carolina. I'm not saying they're going to the playoffs, Carolina that is, but Carolina beat Green Bay in Green Bay. And they beat the Rams at home. So they're 7-6. So they're not they're not Carolina of not even last year, as a matter of fact. They have improved. And as Bryce Young has kind of found his stride, his rhythm. So, but the NFL, this is what the NFL has always wanted, was supreme parity, where you don't know what's going to happen. Betting lines going crazy, people betting, winning money, losing money all over the place. This is exactly what the NFL envisioned 20 years ago. It's just now, it is ultimate parity right now. You don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who's going to be in a game. The only thing we know about the Super Bowl is going to be who's performing in the Super Bowl. And that's all we know. And that's all we're going to know for a while. Because even with the Rams being the best team in the NFC, you can't say that the Patriots being the best team in the AFC are a lock to get to the Super Bowl, right? Because
that's gold right there. But
yeah, because they haven't played. The only team that they beat that was good, which we know now is really not necessarily all that good, is Buffalo. They did beat them in Buffalo, but they have taken advantage of the last place schedule that they were playing this year. So that's all you can do. You can only play who's on your schedule and win the games that you're supposed to win. And that's what I guess technically they have done. So, but yeah, this is wide open. I think the Bears are going to the Super Bowl? No. But I'm still staying with my 7 wins. Because everything else to me at this point is just gravy. It's gravy. It's fun to see Chicago. you know, besides the snow and the cold, I wish I were there to actually really get enveloped in all of this. But y'all can. I'm good here in Texas. I'm good here, even though it's a little chilly here for Texas. It's still not that. I can still see the ground, and it's not any moisture on it. But that's not important. But I do think that, yeah, everything else at this point is gravy. I don't think they're going to sweep Green Bay. If they did, that'd be wonderful. Because no one to me needs to lose is should lose more so than Green Bay just because I'm from Chicago. But you know, chances are they will probably lose this game on Sunday. Probably. Not saying for sure. I'm saying probably. But you again, I didn't see I mean, what, Friday coming. I didn't see that coming at all. And especially the fact they ran for 280 yards against that defense. That's the first time they've had 100-yard rushers in a game, 200-yard rushers in a game since 1985. We all know what happened in 1985. But I can't tell you the last time they had two rushers over 125 yards in the game. That's crazy. That is absolutely nuts. And yet your quarterback didn't really play well, although really honestly didn't really have to. They still, with the rushing yards and the quarterback yards, they still had almost 500 yards of offense. That's nuts. That's fine. Even though, hey, he didn't throw for 300 some odd yards, you're not going to have 600 yards in a professional game, total yards. But I mean, for the simple fact that they just manhandled them, and they stopped the tush push.
They did. Uh-oh. Did we lose Ultimate? I think we lost Ultimate.
I think we lost him for a second. He'll come back on. But yeah, they stopped the tush push. First time I've ever seen them actually lose the ball on the tush push.
That just shows you that studying film and analyzing what really happens in the tush push, I felt like they were kind of ready for that. I felt that he knew there was a weakness in that play, and to go around the side and try to pull that ball out. I guarantee you that was a game plan that they had going into it to expose you game plan for the tush push. You know that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. He ran around to the side and specifically looked for the ball and pulled it out. So we may have exposed the tush push a little bit. We were the first ones to ever do that. I've never seen anybody else do that. So
no, me neither. By the way, Ultimate, you may want to change your name because your alias is now gone.
I glitched out for a minute, but now I'm back. I don't know what's going on with the connection. But the last thing I heard before I did glitch out, you know, you were explaining how, you know, everything at this point in the season is gravy and you know, everything's kind of up in the air, which is kind of to the point I was kind of making before, is that I think we should change that conversation. We need to move the goal line. We gotta hold the Bears' feet to the fire now. We can't have them being comfortable saying, "Oh, we won 8 games or whatever." We need to say, "Hey, look, you guys won 8. Now you got to take it to the next level," because you never know. Like you said, this league is so unpredictable. We don't know what's gonna happen next year. So as long as you're in the mix now, you got to take advantage of it, because that gravy that we think is here now may be totally wiped away next year based on whatever reason. Who knows?
Well, and that's true. This year is the only year that we have right now, right? We don't know what injuries and things like that. Look at your teams from last year. Kansas City, 6-6. Washington hasn't won since they played the Bears. Detroit is in trouble from, as you can see on Thanksgiving. They're in a ton of trouble, actually. That's a huge game on Thursday with them in Dallas. That actually may be an elimination game on Thursday. Either one of those, if either one of those loses, they're done. Probably.
Yeah. At least from winning the division. I mean, they can always sneak in as wild card, but
even if it's going to be tough. I mean, I'm saying that game, you may not be able to get a wild card because the number 7 team right now in the NFC has 9 wins.
San Francisco, right?
Yeah. So Yeah, that's you. You're going to have to be. You're going to have to keep pace. So yeah, that's going to be rough. That is going to be rough.
So the game now against San Francisco has a lot more meaning than it had
Mm-hmm.
a few weeks back.
Yep.
Not that they have to win that game, but if it comes down, say they can't beat Green Bay, Green Bay could win the division, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they lose both games against Green Bay, we can almost probably say Green Bay will probably win the division. It's not for sure. So that means the Bears have to get into that seventh spot. And again, the team with the best record is right now 9-3, just like the Bears. So that San Francisco game is not going to be as hyped as this game Sunday, which I think is going to be the best game on Sunday. I think that is going to be a must-see game. But besides that, I think the game against Green Bay, San Francisco is going to be pretty important. So they got to go in there with the attitude, we got to take this one too, because we don't know what's going to happen. The last game of the season against Detroit, if they
And
lose Thursday, that one doesn't have as much meaning, but they may still need to win it to make a wild card, possibly.
yeah.
But again, like I said before, it's in the Bears' hands to control their destiny for the rest of the season. If they handle their business, like you and Ultimate said, if they don't have this, okay, we're doing good mentality, we've won 9 games, we're having a successful season. If they stay hungry and go out with the same attitude each game, they can control their destiny. So really, they just need to handle their business. They don't need to hope that somebody loses here or there. Just go out and continue to play and win. I think the game Sunday against Green Bay is going to be close. That might come down to a field goal because both teams are going to be very hyped. That rivalry is kind of back.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a rivalry if you're always getting your butt kicked,
Correct.
but that rivalry game is going to be that's going to be a chippy game. We probably
Mm-hmm.
see a couple of fights for sure, and
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see some excitement from players that we usually don't see excitement from on the football field. So I'm looking forward to it. And I'm going to just say now, because I've been basically negative against the Bears all season, that they win that game. I think that's a game they win. It will be close. I think it'll be a field goal, but I think they win it.
Yeah, you know what? According to the stats, I think I saw it on one of the channels yesterday, the Bears have, I think it was 79% chance of making it to the playoffs. So it's going to be hard for them not to make it. I think they go, I would say 3-2 over the last 5, at least. And I could definitely see, I think one thing, Caleb has been up and down, inconsistent, but he has performed well in pressure moments. This entire game Sunday is a pressure moment. So I'm seeing him having a good game, and I would see the Bears victorious also.
The O line is going to be huge on Sunday. Because of what you saw Green Bay's defensive line do to Detroit on Thanksgiving. But they still allowed over 20 points against them, so it's not like you can't score on them. And I do think this this goes back. Okay, when Matt Nagy took over the Bears back in 2018, they had similar type of success, right? But I do feel that this time they got the coach. The coach has and the coach has put together a really good staff. Unlike that 2018 team, that was all predicated on the defense because Vic Fangio, who they just beat, that was the guy, that was the mastermind. Their defense it wasn't 85 good, but it was really, really good and really, really competitive. And they are the ones that held the torch for that team. This is different because we've seen the defense look bad, but yet we've also seen the defense take the ball away. Like again, like what me and D Money were talking about while Ultimate wasn't there was the stopping of the tush push of him being able to get a turnover on the tush push, which you've never seen before. Coaching, it's all about coaching because look, the one thing that's different about this team is the interior of the offensive line. Almost everything is the same, and yet we are looking at a much different team this year. And I think this could be the second best tactical coach in Bears history. Could be. Not saying it is, but could be.
And question for both of you. That being said, what is the Bears' weakest link right now on their team?
I think that's easy. That's the pass rush. They
Yeah.
need to put a little bit more pressure on these quarterbacks than they have been. So they're still one elite pass rusher away, an edge rusher. So we're gonna have to wait till next year for that guy, whoever it will be. But I think even despite that, they still been managing to get some wins. But I think in the playoffs is a different story, right? I mean, to win in the playoffs, you have to be playing your best football. And you're not going to just get by with some wins they have. I mean, Sunday's win was a good win. I mean, Friday's win was a good win. I mean, that one was solid. I won't say that was a very, other than the Dallas game, I'd probably say that's probably the second best game that they've played. They had substandard quarterback play. But I think that was a solid win. But some of the other wins that they've had where they've had to pull out at the last minute, I don't think that's going to fly in the playoffs. Every team is different in the playoffs. So I do think, if they're playing their best football, which is what Coach Ben Johnson said, he wants to be playing their best football in December. So far, it looks like that's what's happening. So even with that weakness on the defense that I see, maybe you feel differently, I still think they can overcome it, but they've got to play better, flawless ball.
No, you're right. You're on point with the defense in regards to the lack of a pass rush. And that's been the situation the last couple of years, actually. And they're going to need to get some pressure on Jordan Love, because Jordan Love will throw the ball to you if you put pressure on him. That's the one thing. And again, going back to the quarterback play, even though he had an interception on Friday, he doesn't give the ball away, which is that's key in all of this right now. I'll say this. You're right when you stated that Ben Johnson stated that they will be playing their best ball in December, and I guess we're about to find out, because here it is, and even though we've said, they keep winning these close games and there's something that's not sustainable, and yet they keep sustaining this. So, and we say it can't fly in the playoffs. We don't know if that can't fly in the playoffs, because we don't know what this league is right now. This league is totally up for grabs. We don't know how this is all going to play out. We don't have that dominance. We don't have a Kansas City Chiefs team or a Philadelphia Eagles team from last year, or a Kansas City Chiefs team for the last 7 years. We don't have that right now. We don't know what's going to happen. And anything, and I do mean anything, is liable to happen, even pulling games out of your ass, even in the playoffs, because that is very possible given the way this league is right now. Because it's a lot of mediocre play out there. It's some good play, but there's no great play at all. Not even close at this point. And everybody has flaws. So this is it's for the taking. Do I think they will? No. Listen, I'm still holding back on this. Until they do it, it ain't done. And so that's how I'm going to take this. But I'll take the victories, and I won't be saying, hey, that's a bad victory. There's no such thing in NFL, especially in 2025. All wins are good wins, no matter how they happen.
100%. And like I said, part of my optimism isn't all just because of the Bears. Part of it is just my lack of opinion about some of these other teams. They're just bad.
Yeah.
I think the Bears are okay, but these other teams are bad. They're not playing well. So that's part of the reason I'm thinking they can make a run, because no one's, like we already talked about, is standing out. And then in regards to the pass rush, which I agree is probably one of the weaker phases of their game. One thing that can help out with that, and hopefully as the secondary has played, I think, well, but as they get healthier, they can play even better. if they can hold the coverage just one tick longer, where they got Jalen Johnson back, Kyler Gordon should get back into the mix. Maybe that would have one tick longer should help the pass rush and get some pressure sacks as opposed to some of the dominant, DN type sacks.
Get the linebackers back too. If TJ Edwards, I think is close to playing. If he plays on Sunday, that'd be great too. That will be a big help because if I'm not mistaken, Brandon Jacobs is a little ouchy as well for Green Bay too. So, and again, it's to the season where no one's healthy and no one's good, no one's perfect, and we just don't know. I mean, could the Bears win? I wouldn't be surprised, unlike what happened Friday, if the Bears win this game. I'm predicting them not to win it though. And I'm gonna stay with my 7 wins. And like I said, everything else that happens, I'm just gonna ride with it. I'm going to enjoy it. Now that's the one thing I will do. I will enjoy it. But I thought because of the talent that's on the team, and this goes back to the GM and me disagreeing that the GM should still have his job. I guess it's turned out either you just needed a coach, maybe, as it turns out, to get that talent, to get the pieces that he had in there to perform well. You needed to scheme it up better. Maybe that's the thing. I don't know. But yeah, I go ahead, talk somebody.
I got a question for you too. So what we're seeing happen in the NFL this year, is just a fluke year where teams are just not playing well? And we mean good teams that should be playing better, have better records. Is this just a fluke year, or are we seeing a trend that teams are just getting better and it's just harder to win in the NFL because coaches are better, quarterbacks are better, schemes are better? What are we seeing? Just fluke year or a trend?
I think for I'm just taking Kansas City. I think for Kansas City, I think it's just time for them to kind of pull back. They've gone to 7 consecutive AFC championships, 5 Super Bowls. So technically speaking, throughout this run, they've played almost 2 full seasons plus. So they need to just kind of regroup. If they miss the playoffs, which I think is what may happen, but again, because we don't know about this league right now, they could still somehow sneak back in this thing. But I do think that this may be just kind of a one-off for them because they got the quarterback, right? And hopefully Travis Kelce retires, although he hasn't had a bad season. But as far as the other stuff in regards to the league itself, listen, you got free agency. I mean, again, this is what the NFL wanted. It was parity. And this is what is really happening. And yeah, coaches are better. People know how to scheme better, so forth and so on. And the really the exciting part in this is the Bears have one of those that I think can move with where the trend of the league is going, which I don't think you could say that. You couldn't say that about Eberflus. You couldn't even say that about Nagy. Still can't say about Nagy, even though he's the offensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. That's still Andy Reid. So yeah, I think it's a combination of both. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think as a trend, I think the margins are so small these days. You can flip from good to bad just like that. The margins here, the bad teams aren't as bad as we think they are. The good teams aren't as good as we think they are. It's normally 1 or 2 plays a game, which kind of tells the story. I mean, think about it. The Bears won. How many games the Bears won? 9.
Yes.
How many have they won in the last play of the game? How many of those games were decided maybe on 1 or 2 plays? If you flip those 1 or 2 plays, we could be having a totally different kind of conversation. And that's like that with all the teams. So the margins are so small. So I agree with Fruit that the coach kind of brings in some of that margin of error with their decisions. And it makes it kind of illuminates those 1 plays more. I mean, if games are decided on 1 play, you want the better coach making the decision on what that play is.
Yes,
basically
correct.
What I'm saying.
Mm-hmm,
so
correct.
I think it's a trend. I think everybody's kind of moving to the middle, and then it's just whoever can coach up the best game that particular week. I think the talent isn't as widespread as people make it out to be. I think all teams have good talent. It's just a matter of putting it together, putting them in the right position to win based on the scheme, the schemes running, and yeah, it's a trend. Basically, is the way I'm answering this question. It's a trend. I think it's going to remain that way, which is why I'm saying the Bears got to take advantage now, because that trend could sway outside of their favor next year. You just never know.
Well, and just to give you the trend part of this, last year Kansas City was 12-0 in one-score games. This year they're 1-6.
There you go.
And so that should tell you all you need to know in regards to what that is. And just again, the Bears have lucked up because I guess what was it? Friday was was to the day of Eberflus getting fired, and the Bears pulled that off. That's incredible.
It is incredible. It is incredible.
What 360 is? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I've just been thinking about this. What do you guys think? Is the quarterback class of 2024 when Caleb was drafted? Is that going to be in the end one of the best quarterback classes that we've seen since maybe Marino, Elway, and who was it from Buffalo? Jim Kelly. Is this because look at what's happening with the quarterbacks from that class? Denver,
Nix,
England, the Bears. Before he got hurt, Jaden Daniels was playing at an elite level. He had a great season last year. So I mean, any class that has 4 quarterbacks that are on winning teams, one last year, and then you got 3 this year. I mean, that is very hard to find that. You look at the quarterback class with what's our guy?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Every one of them was terrible.
Yeah.
Everyone. I mean, terrible. Not even just decent. Terrible.
Yeah.
Is this going to be, you think, one of the best quarterback class in NFL history?
It could be. It's possible. But you got a quarterback that's struggling in Minnesota. You got a quarterback that is hurt again in Atlanta. Although I think Michael Penix, as far as being a quarterback, first of all, he can sling it. There's no question about him. He can sling it. JJ McCarthy, however, Minnesota, I so wish Spicy was on this broadcast because we'd be giving it to her right now because Minnesota, you in danger. You in trouble.
Yeah, but they don't need McCarthy even to include in that draft class for it to be great. You can go with Bo Nix, Drake May, Penix, and Williams, and Daniels.
Yeah.
And then you're good. So we can leave JJ McCarthy out the mix.
I would like to.
I think it's going to turn out to be, because I think Caleb has some Pro Bowls in his future. Drake May obviously is the MVP candidate this year. Like Fruit said, Penix definitely can throw the ball. I think when he returns, he'll be good. And we already know about Daniels. So yeah, it's definitely in recent memory. Whether it's better than the Marino, Elway, Jim Kelly type draft, that's
I don't know about that.
Way off. That's a very long way off because those are Hall of Famers. But in terms of recent memory, I think all of them are going to be solid.
Yeah. And the hope is JJ McCarthy is not. but he continues to be the quarterback of Minnesota. That's what I hope.
No, everybody can't hit, and he's going to be one of the ones that doesn't hit. I mean, that's just the way I see it. Right.
Yeah, and just think about that. They gave up, Sam Darnold, and it turns out, hey, Sam Darnold actually probably is good. we thought that was just a 1-year wonder. Now he obviously cannot play against the Rams, but that's the only team. Now, it's the team that's in this division. That's a problem. But Sam Darnold turns out, he actually is a good quarterback.
Yeah, that was a big miss on Minnesota. Couple of quarterbacks they let go. Well, Kirk Cousins turns out, I guess that was maybe a good decision. Maybe his meltdown wouldn't have happened if he stayed in Minnesota. Who knows? But JJ, he's not going to hit. But would you have kept Sam Darnold? I probably would have let him go too. He kind of melted in the playoff, and I think that's what turned him away from giving him the money. But he would have been a better choice than what they have right now. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, look, Minnesota would be. I think Minnesota would be in the thick of this whole thing because they're no longer in it. They're not even in the hunt anymore. That is done. And you got Justin Jefferson is like, I want to be traded. Well, no, he didn't say that, but he looks like he wants to say that. He looks like AJ Brown in regards to that. But yeah, that's and I still think that is the best coach in the division, but he does not have the quarterback right now.
You need a great quarterback. We said it before. You need combination of both great coach, great quarterback to be successful, and they do not have the quarterback for that right now.
And so, and in regards to what's happening in Detroit, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's injured, and you got Sam Laporta is out for the season, and but you do have Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is, I think, the best running back in the NFL right now. Period. Has breakaway speed. I wonder what's going to happen to Detroit down the line in regards to this. They probably, I won't say probably, they may not make the playoffs this year. So I wonder what they're going to do. I wonder if they're going to try to find another OC. Because I think that's probably where they're going to lean on. Although, again, Green Bay scored, 2 touchdowns on 4th down plays on Thanksgiving. So, you got some defensive issues that are going on there too. And here's the thing about the Bears, which is crazy. This is now the first time this year they actually have a net gain on points. Up until Friday, they still had allowed more points than they had scored until Friday. That's because of that Detroit game. Because when they went 0-2 and they lost that game 52-21, that was an ouchie, and that they just finally got over that just now with this last game.
Yeah, which is the only reason some people weren't taking the Bears seriously is the points differential. Because
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks and the Rams have like the largest point differential in the NFC. So now
Yeah.
that they've got that out of the way, and they're on the positive side, like I said, there's no reason to take them seriously. As far as Detroit, I just don't think it's their year based on a few injuries they got. They're just not quite in sync like they were last year because they lost those coordinators. So they're still some time away from regaining the form they had the last several years. So I'm not seeing them as the threat that they have been. Still a good team, but I just don't see them. They're missing something.
Well,
the Bears are going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, well, they weren't going to go 15-2 like they did last year. But I mean, they went 15-2 and they lost in the first game of playoffs, the first game they played. So yeah. I mean, that's Detroit for you, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It's. I just can't. I guess I'm having a hard time believing that maybe the Bears may actually have the best coach in the division, at least, and one of the better coaches in the NFL. And it's kind of hard to think about it from all the crap that has gone through this damn organization in the past 30 years. It's hard to believe that. Sorry, 40 years, because it's been 40 years since the old Super Bowl shuffle.
Like I said, we will see. But like I said, that's why I asked a question to you guys about what you thought the Bears' weakest link was. Because if you compare the Bears' weakest link to what the Packers' weakest links are, or how many they have, it's probably going to be comparable. So that's why I'm wondering, why are we saying the Packers, I guess you guys are not saying necessarily the Packers, but or the Rams or the Seahawks are just so much far and way better than the Bears. The Bears, you didn't identify a lot of weak links. It was just pass rush. What else is there?
And, well, I mean, with that, I'm sorry, Fruit, didn't mean to cut you off. I will say too, one of the things you can say about the Bears, they've gone up against that offense, have gone up against some elite pass rushers this season so far. So they've seen some high level pass, and they've handled it. That offensive line has handled it. And I know everybody's talking about the defense of Green Bay with Micah Parsons and all those guys, but they've seen some elite pass rushes, and that offensive line, and Caleb has handled it pretty well. I will say this about Caleb: he handles the blitz well. He doesn't panic. He's for the most part, pretty composed. So I don't really see Green Bay, to be honest. There's no fear there. I think you got to play good ball to beat them because you can see what they did to Detroit. But I'm not afraid of that defense. I'm not afraid of that pass rush because we've seen the lead already.
Well, yeah, we got this week and next week because you got two. You got because you got
Garrett.
Myles Garrett coming to town on the following Sunday, and so that is and that guy is going to, if it appears, is going to obliterate the sack record. Apparently, I didn't realize he had that many sacks thus far this season.
He's at 22 or something like that so far.
He's 19. The record is
19.
22.
Okay.
But you're missing something in that Cleveland game. Who's going to be quarterbacking?
Yeah.
And what is the Bears defense good at? Okay. So what
Taking
does
the
that
ball
mean?
away. Taking the ball
Taking
away.
the ball away.
There's going to be a lot of that, no matter who's quarterback. And
Which means it's going to be a short field for the Bears, which means they're going to be running the ball. That's what I'm saying. It all adds up. That I don't see that as being an issue.
Yeah, Shedeur looks like a rookie quarterback. There's nothing special about that guy.
No, you're right. No, you're right. It is nothing special about him, but he does appear to be able to stretch the field, unlike what Dylan Gabriel was able to do.
He was trash. I mean, Gabriel was trash. Everybody knows he was kind of trash.
Yeah, correct. So and I think it's just malpractice actually on Cleveland's part for them to just finally start working him in with the ones. I think they did him a disservice by not giving him more practice time. But that's neither here nor there because we're not in Cleveland. We don't care.
That's right. One more thing I want to bring up. It's not even a Bears thing. What was going on with Rodney Harrison? Did you all see what happened with him? That was just the weirdest thing I've ever seen, man. It's like his mind just could not snap back in place. What's up with that?
Rodney Harrison was, I won't say was a headhunter, but he would hit you hard. He's the person that's actually solely responsible for the St. Louis Rams dynasty. By hurting Trent Green in that game, and then Kurt Warner was the guy that took his place. I saw something about it today that he was trying to clear it up about what's going on about the fog and stuff. But I mean, football's it's a dangerous sport. Which, hey, Hello Bougie will not let Little Grapefruit play football, and that's the reason why.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I saw the headline, but I didn't see it, and I didn't see a replay of it. But I saw the headline, so yeah, it's a little concerning.
Yeah. I think he's also mentioned that he does have that has happened to him before. Though I think he's mentioned that before, that he has had some fogginess here and there.
Yeah, that's scary. That's scary.
Yeah, it is.
So hopefully it's nothing too serious, but we'll see.
Yeah. So what happens? I guess. Do we want to do our segments first and then our predictions, or do we want to do the predictions and then our segments?
Let's go ahead and do the predictions since we're kind of on it. So
all right, Ultimate, go ahead.
So you're talking about the prediction for the last five. That what we?
No, I'm talking for the next two.
Oh, the next two. Oh, next two. I already said I thought the Bears were going to pull out this win on Sunday, and I'm picking them against the Browns.
So when we come back, they're going to be 11-3.
They're going to be because there's going to be some mad. I know that Green Bay is going to be the betting favorite on Sunday. I'm pretty aware of that. They probably already are.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what the weather is supposed to be looking like, but running games travel doesn't depend on the weather, and like you mentioned, Jordan Love doesn't mind giving the ball away. I see some magic happening. I see the Bears pulling out that game. I'm definitely picking them against the Browns. So I'm going to go, hey, let's stay with the magical season, 2-0.
D-Money?
Yeah, I mean, I also said they were going to win against Green Bay, and I'm definitely going to say they're going to beat the Browns at home. I mean, something has to be crazy for them to lose that game, right? Because again, we know they don't have a quarterback that's going to help them. So yeah, I think by the time you come back, they're 11-3. I think end of the season, they should have 12 wins. So yeah, I'm gonna say that'll be what, 12 and 5?
Yep.
12 and 5 is, so I'm gonna just go ahead and say what I think they're gonna end with for the season. But I think they win the next 2 games. I think they go in Green Bay, and I think it's just gonna be hard to beat the Bears right now. They're very confident and they're very well prepared by the coaching staff. That's a big thing for me. This is just a different type of coaching staff, and I think they will have them ready mentally and physically to go in there and jump down their throats. And it's something you said earlier about Love. Jordan Love, now when he's on, he is on. But you can get him off and he will give you the ball. So I think if they can jump on him early, get him to force a few out quickly, and if they can take away a couple, I think they got a great shot at winning that. It still will be close, but I think they win that one. So 11-3 when we come back.
All right, so I'm going to go not 11-3. I come back. I'm saying they're going to probably lose to Green Bay, and that they'll squeak out a win against the Browns. Now, so they'll be 10-4, which again, it's crazy that we're saying that they could be at the worst 10-4. Hell, okay, say they were to somehow lose both games. Even if they're 9-5, after they started 0-2, it's still crazy the fact that they would actually be that.
No, I agree. Yeah. I agree with money on. I got the next 2, and my final season 12-5.
Well, look, if by chance they win both of these games and they go 11-3, to be honest, I think 13 is actually on the table.
Yeah, because my calculation was based on them splitting with the Packers. But if they win Sunday, then they go pop. I don't see why they wouldn't come back and win at home. But it was based on the split, so I'm gonna keep it at the split for now, and that'll be a 12-5 record.
So okay, so see, and I can keep it as a split and say that they'll lose to the Packers on Sunday and then beat them. Because if I'm not mistaken, now that the game in Chicago is now a nationally televised game now, is either, I think it's already been flexed either to a Saturday game or a late Sunday game. I'm not sure, but I think it's been flexed.
Yeah, but the guards, so it's all the same.
As this one has already been flexed too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah. Both games will be meaningful, but I think if they have 12 going into the last game of the season with the Lions, I think if it's a game that doesn't mean anything, then you just don't play your starters, and that's why they may only have 12. But we'll see.
No, I think Ben Johnson probably wants to prove a point to Detroit with that 52-point game week 2. He doesn't seem like the guy that say, I think I'll just take it easy. That doesn't seem to be, that's not that dude. He seems to have issues and will want to correct some wrongs that have happened probably earlier in the season.
I look forward to seeing. I would love for them to be in that position where they have the option not to play their starters.
Yeah, and you know, and that could be, and also technically speaking, it could be for a number 1 seed, right? So, yeah, you would want to go ahead and do that. But yeah, the fact that they have gotten to this point, again, did not see it coming. You have a clutch quarterback. You have a good coach. We're probably going to lose some coaches because of this season, but it won't be the main play caller, and it won't be the defensive coach because he's not getting another coaching job, because the only thing that would be a step up for him to be another head coach again, and he's probably not going to get that. So they're in a, you can't predict the future, obviously, but the fact that they would have those 2 mainstays there is really good.
That's right. Real good. We haven't heard Ryan Poles' name much at all this year, which is good. When you don't hear the general manager's name, that means something's going right with the.
So my question is, do we kind of give him credit, or is it that they lucked up on the coach and we, and Kevin, this is actually Kevin Warren's coach.
No, I think I think he got lucky. I mean, I think Ryan Poles is okay, but I'm not giving him the credit because everybody wanted to hire Ben Johnson, so I'm not giving him credit for that.
Okay.
And I'm not giving him credit for the most recent picks because I think Ben Johnson had his thumb all on it. So I'm still thinking it was the coach.
So that was I'm gonna give Kevin Warren the Ben Johnson thing because Kevin Warren was the one that spent the cash because Ben Johnson is making an obscene amount of money as a head coach, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
All right. Well then let's just real quick before we go to our segments, and again, as I disseminate this through our Facebook thing, I'm going to have to go again to Drew Caffey is the reason why the Bulls are no longer in the playoffs. After that game against the 76ers, when they were 6-1, he said, yeah, you know what? I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, where it turns out the Kool-Aid was poison. They've been since that 6-1, they are 3-10. And it's all because of Andrew Caffey. Yes, I'm saying his name. Andrew Caffey smooshed them, and they haven't been the same since. and okay, we're done with that. All right, let's go to our segments. D Money, start us off.
It's ultimate, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, ultimate.
I'll start us off. So I think it was 2 weeks ago. I gave the ultimate performance to the Baltimore Ravens for knocking out. I think it was Dylan Gabriel for giving Shedeur a chance to shine. That was 2 weeks ago. So my runner-up is going to go to, it's actually two teams. My runner-up is going to go to the Las Vegas Raiders for making Shedeur look good, and then to the San Francisco 49ers for making Shedeur look bad. Because we all know either extreme, the media coverage would have been too crazy. If he's playing super great, off the chain coverage. If he's playing super bad, off the chain coverage. I need to just keep it in the middle so this is not a storyline. So we need to keep him in the middle for now. Like I said, I'm not predicting his future being great or bad. I'm just saying right now, keep it in the middle because I don't want to hear about it. So runner-up goes to both the Raiders for making him look good. He got his first victory as a starter, and then bringing everybody back down to earth last week, San Francisco, making him look very pedestrian and like a rookie. So that's the runner-up ultimate performance. And then the ultimate performance is pretty easy if we want to keep it football and keep it Bears. We already talked about it. The Bears O-line has been balling out. I'm not giving the credit for the two 100-yard rushers to the rushers themselves. I'm giving it to the offensive line. I think there was some stat, Fruit, maybe you've seen it, that the average time those runners were actually touched was like, it was 4 or 5 yards into the play. I can't remember what it was. So basically what I'm saying, they were like wide open holes all game Friday. That was like a dominating performance that we haven't seen in a long time. So ultimate performance definitely goes to the Bears offensive line. And in fact, that's who Ben Johnson gave one of the game balls to, was the O-line after that game. Mm-hmm. So I want to keep it quick and simple. Ultimate performance, Bears O-line. Hopefully they can continue to dominate because that's going to be their key to a long playoff run, both pass protection and dominating run game.
Definitely.
Okay.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
All right. So for hot garbage, honestly, for 2 weeks, there was no clear favorite for hot garbage. Well, up until last night. So in the game, the Giants versus New England, New England was up by 10 points, and the Giants were trying to work their way back into the game until a field goal attempt thwarted that. So my hot garbage for these last 2 weeks, and I love his name, Young Ho Koo, for making the worst ever field goal attempt ever in the history of the NFL by totally whiffing the ball. Before that, only whiffs I had seen were on Charlie Brown until this guy actually got his foot stuck in the ground while trying to make a kick. It was so bad, even the quarterback of the Giants could not hold back his disgust for what he saw. So for me, hot garbage is Mr. Young Ho Koo, and yet another example of a young ho not getting the job done.
Here, here.
Yeah, his family's a bunch of hoes. His mama's a hoe too. So for my rising star, so for the rising star, I actually have two, and I'm actually going two Bears, young guys. So first one, he's had a kind of an up and down season, but lately it's been up, and it's Mr. Nahshon Wright of the Bears. Five interceptions amongst the league leaders. One of them was a pick six, was the opening game. Forced fumble, took the ball away from Jalen Hurts on the tush push. And yeah, 27 years old from Oregon State. Yeah, that's one. And then my second one is Kyle Monangai. Again, what 500, almost 600 yards rushing for the season, but a 4.8 yard average, which again did not see coming. Now, yeah, could that be offensive line? Yeah, but the Bears technically have their Sonic and Knuckles, possibly. So yeah, those are my two. Nahshon Wright and Kyle Monangai are the rising stars.
Good
Great
choice.
call. Great call. 7th round pick too, Monangai, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Man.
So
You
now,
7th round pick, man. That's always money.
So
yeah.
before you go into, so when the DBs or secondary is totally healthy, does Nahshon maintain that starting cornerback position?
I think you rotate, because I think that, because right now it looks like that's the strength of the defense. Really, is the defensive backfield. So it's a good problem to have, and I'm sure Dennis Allen will figure it out. So I have all the confidence that he'll figure that out. But yeah, I would rotate them all. You got a good group. And if they want to pick up Darius Slay, who just decided that, finally Aaron Rodgers has finally destroyed the team and is going to get Mike Tomlin fired. He just actually got his release that he wanted from Pittsburgh. You want to pick him up too. It doesn't matter. I mean, go ahead, do what you got to do. Now, as far as doing too much, I'm going to go political. Now, please give me your candidates for doing too much, because if you have someone else after I say mine, please go ahead and chime in. It's Pete Hegseth, who is the Department of War Secretary, blowing up these people in Venezuela, these boats and stuff, these boats that are, these are not even, they barely have like little mini engines in them. We don't know if there are drugs on these boats or not. They're blowing them up, killing them up. And obviously, this is not the goal of the United States to keep drugs out of the United States. This is obviously some other stuff that's going on, probably oil, which is obviously that's kind of the thing about this country, how we love other people's oil and make it our own. So yeah, the Pete Hegseth and President Trump with the Epstein files, y'all doing way too much. You guys have any candidates as well?
No, good choice. I got nothing this week, but definitely anything related to that administration is definitely in a doing too much conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe 50 Cent is doing a little too much. With this,
on.
But just the funniest thing in the world to me, because 50 Cent did an interview, and it's not personal, but we all know it is personal. And the fact that P. Diddy was so arrogant that he was recording himself while all this stuff is going on, but behind the scenes, and it leaked out, and they're using this in a documentary. So, but yeah, 50 Cent, you're wrong for that. I think he's definitely doing too much, but I'm glad he did, and I will be watching.
Wow. Okay. He is Mr. Petty. There's no question about that.
Without a doubt.
No question about that. Yeah. All right. So what? 2 weeks. So let's see. That would be
After the Browns game, right?
Yeah, that would be December the 15th. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. All right. All right. Well, if we don't have anything else for this, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. D Money, drive us off this picture.
All right. Peace.